Hello everyone and welcome back to Meshi TV. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me in this video. How are you doing? Like really? I know you can't really answer me, but I know that you can answer me in the comment section. Let me know how you're doing. I really want to know. I wanted to bring this video to you guys because I wanted to offer up some help and some support. So in today's video, I thought that we would just move a little bit. While I'm still going through my yoga teacher training, I'm finding yoga to be one of the things that's absolutely saving my mental health right now, and I think that it's going to provide you the same form of relief. So I will do my best to just at least do like maybe a 15, I'm hoping to keep this at like a 15-minute practice that you can do every single day. You can come back to this at any time. I have posted a previous video. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, I will leave the link in the description so you can check that out, where we've done some basic breath work. I'm also going to be releasing a few videos of just guided meditations that you can do to just kind of bring you back to present and help you through the uncertainty that you might be feeling. So the very first thing that I actually wanted to do right now, by the way, if you're brand new, you already know what to do. If you're brand new here, thank you so much for joining me. We usually chat a few times a week. Right now, we're probably going to be chatting a lot more because we're on a lockdown. So we usually chat about planning, about yoga, about holistic living, and what are the tools that you can utilize to live a more intentionally based life. And if that sounds good, consider subscribing. So the very first thing that I would like to do before we even begin to move is actually, I wanted to do a little bit of cleansing. So for that, I'm going to be using my little Palo Santo because I absolutely love it. Right now, it just brings me calmness and serenity. I also have behind this camera, I also have my diffuser going. If you're wondering, I'll show you a close-up of what I'm using, but I just used about a couple of drops of Balance from doTERRA and a couple of drops of Unwind from Sage. So the blend is absolutely beautiful. So if you needed essential oil recipes, then here you go. That's what I'm diffusing right now. It's not sage, it's Palo Santo. So it's just a small little stick that I've had for like the longest time, but I find that whenever I'm feeling highly anxious or just there's uncertainty, there's just negative energy that is going on, then I usually light this and just allow the smoke. First of all, when you smell it, it smells, I don't want to call it sweet nectar. It has a very distinctive sweetness to its scent. It smells very beautiful. It also helps kind of just cleanse the area. For me, mentally, whenever I smell it, it automatically sends that message to just time to calm, time to bring serenity here, time to, bring it down a couple notches, because anything that you can, any tools that you can use, like if you have a favorite candle, this would be a perfect time to light it. If you have a sage stick, if you have Palo Santo, that's definitely very energizing. Like it definitely very cleansing to the area and whatever you're doing. Especially if you had just that negative emotion, that negative heaviness. If you're finding that there's like a weight on your chest, this would be something that you can utilize. It's a very quick way to just sort of neutralize the energy in the space that you're in. You can obviously open up your windows. That also helps as well. Okay, looks like this pretty much went out, and then let's get started. Hopefully you guys can see me. So for this practice, obviously you will need your mat. I will also just put right next to me here the actual playlist that I will be using throughout this practice. I don't really feel like getting burned for copyright, so you will hear a voiceover and you will also hear I will just show you the playlist if you wanted to have access to it so that you can practice along with me. That's no problem. You can always just come back to that. But for now, let's just put on some music and let's get started. Actually, before I even put on music, why don't we just begin here? You can begin seated or laying down. It's totally up to you. So why don't we just begin first with a nice easy pose. Hands on your thighs. Close your eyes. And just begin with a few cleansing breaths. I really like to just recalibrate before I do anything else. So take a deep breath through the nose. And release. Exhale through the mouth. Once more. And exhale through the mouth. Last one. Exhale through the mouth. Actually, why don't you just stay seated for a moment. Find stillness. Nice, neutral spine, neck tucked. And as you bring awareness to your body, bring your awareness more internally, do a quick check-in on how your body's feeling right now. Where your body may be holding tension, where it feels nice and soft and easy and fluid. Check in with the quality of your breath. Is it nice, deep, velvety and smooth, or is it jagged and restricted? And if there is some restriction and you're feeling that constriction somewhere in the body, check in where that may be, where you're holding tension right now. No judgment, just checking in. The more awareness we can bring to how your body's feeling, there's so much insight that you can gain through just tuning in. Begin to breathe a bit deeper as you activate your diaphragm. Perhaps add a bit of an ujjayi breathing where you have that inaudible ah sound without actually opening your mouth. So you're sort of using the back of your throat. You have the audible sound but without actually keeping your mouth open. And see if you can maintain that level and the quality of breathing throughout your entire practice today. It gives you so much insight and so much connection to slowing down your nervous system and really connecting back to how your body is really feeling right now. In your next inhale, begin to bring your head at about a 45-degree angle. And as you exhale, bring your chin down towards your chest with a very micro movement that you're bringing in through the thoracic spine, through the mid-back area. And just move with your own breath a few times. And as you move more and more, begin to bring your shoulder back and down, chest open, neck at, again, 45-degree angle. Then rounding the back, bring your chin to your chest. Think of it like the waves of the ocean. Maybe you start swaying front to back. And at your next inhale, come onto all fours, come to table. Your hands shoulder width apart, your legs are shoulder or hip width apart, and moving with your breath into cat and cow. Exhale, round the back. Inhale into cow. Drop your belly, chest forward, neck. Okay, move with your own breath. Now here, see if you can sway side to side as we're waking up the hips, waking up the shoulders. See if we can set an intention for our practice today. What are you grateful for today in this very moment? Could be something very small, could be something very significant. Bring that to the conscious mind. And now switch positions, switch directions. What is something that someone has done for you that you can be grateful for today? Now your next inhale, turn your palms, your fingers towards you, your palm away from your body, and continue to sway. Just create some micro swaying. You will feel exactly how tight your forearms are here. Again, just bringing some movement, some fluidity, some fresh blood to that area. Bring it back to neutral. Now from here, your next inhale, tuck your toes under and come into downward facing dog. Gaze between your knees or between your legs. Generous bend in both legs. Gentle bend in the elbows. And sway into plank. Come back into downward facing dog. And micro lift your leg, your right leg, and bring it in between your hands. Stay here for just a moment. Stay lifted for 2 breaths. And then your next inhalation, place your back foot down. Bring your arm up into Warrior One, Virabhadrasana 1. And exhale, hands down. Step back into plank. And bring your knees down, lower down. Inhale to baby cobra. Exhale, back down to the ground. Tuck your toes and come back into downward facing dog. Lift your left foot. Bring it between your hands. Stay here for a moment. Get grounded. Then inhale into Warrior One, Virabhadrasana. Exhale, hands down to the ground. Step back into plank. And either lower your knees or just lower down Chaturanga. Inhale to Cobra. Exhale back down to the ground. And inhale into Downward Facing Dog. Inhale your foot all the way up. Hips parallel to the ground. Look in between your hands and step your hand through. Bring your back foot down to the ground and inhale into Warrior One. Exhale into Runner's Lunge. Then inhale Warrior One and adjust your foot to Warrior Two. Perfect. Palms up and bring your right hand to the inside of your knee. Left arm reaching forward. Focus on stability here. So focus more on stability rather than how low you can actually go. And exhale into Reverse Warrior. Move with your own breath. 2 more. Next inhale, bring both hands down to the ground, frame your leg, Step back into plank, lower down chaturanga. And exhale into downward facing dog. Lift your left leg behind you. Hips once again parallel to the ground. Step your feet through. Back foot down into warrior one, left. Exhale into runner's lunge. Then inhale, warrior two. Adjust your feet. Make sure that your outer heel is completely pushing down. Your outer heel is pushing down on the ground. Nice strong stance. Bring your palms up and lean in to extend the side angle and exhale into reverse warrior. Two more. And cartwheel your hands down to the ground. Bring your hips square. Step back into plank and lower down chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Look in between your hands and step or hop to the top of your mat. And just hang. Maybe touch opposite elbows. Neck in neutral, just allow the gravity to pull you forward. Your next inhale halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Hands to heart center. Hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands up. Exhale to heart center. Inhale, hands up. Hands to heart center, sit in chair. Exhale to and twist to your left. Hook your elbows if that feels good. Gaze to the left. Make sure your knees are nice and stable. And breathe. Alternative is you hang on to the outside of your knee, left hand comes to the low back and twist. Perhaps here, if you feel nice and stable, you step back into deep lunge. Step back, come to the center, hands up. We'll do the opposite side, hands up. Hands to heart center and sit in chair. Twist to your right side. And if you feel stable, step back with your left into deep lunge. Nice steady breath. Strong back leg. Step back, come to center, and hands up, and bring it down to heart center. Once again, hands up, forward fold. Inhale halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Bring your hands down to the ground. Step back into plank, bring your knees down to the ground and widen your knees to the width of your mat and sit back into wide-legged child's. And just breathe. And your next inhalation, bring your hands in front of you. So come up to seated with your feet nice and active. Your toes are pointing towards you, and bring your right leg up close. Bring your right leg and your hands up. Inhale, hands up, and exhale. You bring your left hand over your thigh, right hand behind you. And with each breath, with each exhalation, you twist more. And with each inhalation, you lengthen. You work on lengthening. Two more breaths. Your next inhale, gentle counter twist and switch sides. Once again, hands up and exhale into the twist. And gentle counter twist. And bring both feet down to the mat and lay down on your back. And bend both knees. Bring your right leg over your left thigh and lift your left leg for thread the needle. Both feet active here to protect the knee joint. Your next exhalation, bring your feet down to the ground and let's switch sides. And your next exhalation, bring both feet down to the ground. Now from here, you can bend your leg and hang on to the outer edge of your feet and lift your leg for a happy baby and just gently rock. Your next inhalation, bring your feet down to the ground. And you can set up for a wheel if it's in your practice or bridge. First we'll begin with bridge. So make sure that you're pushing through the heel and lift your hips and bring your hands underneath your back, behind your back, and you lift through the heel. You're creating that nice arch, that nice angle here while you're pushing and you're pulling your hips all the way up. And just breathe. Next inhalation, you can bring your hands and your arms out from underneath you and slowly with control lower your back down to the ground, one vertebrae at a time. In your next inhalation, we can You can go into bridge once again. You can use a block if you would like to have a supported bridge where you would place the block underneath your sacrum, or you can, or if it's in your practice, you can go into wheel. It's whatever your body needs today to feel grounded and strong. And slowly with control, again, come back down to the ground. Feel the sensation. Give lots of gratitude for the strength for you to show up on your mat today. Bring your knees to your chest. Gently rock if it feels good. We'll do one final spinal twist. So bring your both knees down to the ground and bring your left leg over your right thigh. Shimmy your bum all the way to the edge of your mat and just allow your hips and your legs to fall to the right. Your arms can be up in cactus and your gaze to the left. Your next inhalation, bring your leg back to neutral, bring your hips back to neutral, and switch sides. Again, arm up in cactus, if that feels good. Gaze to the right. Your next inhalation, bring your leg back to center. And you can set up for your final Savasana. Close your eyes. There's nothing to do. Nowhere to be. If you want, you may also come to seated into easy pose. Your hands on your thigh. Close your eyes. Time to go within and allow all that work that you have done to integrate. Maybe check in with the quality of your breath now versus how you felt at the beginning of your practice. Check in on how you're emotionally feeling in comparison to the beginning of your practice. And give lots of gratitude and thanks for showing up on your mat today. In a moment now, bring your awareness back to the room. Gently wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. And with no rush at all, take a moment to come to a seated position. Gently open your eyes, self-gaze, and give gratitude for the strength and the decision that you made for you to show up on your mat today. I thank you so much for taking the time to connect with me through this video. I hope that this has served you. If it has, let me know in the comments below. And until next time, I will see you guys again on the mat. Thank you for allowing me to share my practice with you, and namaste.